Well, yesterday on our walk, we saw these gentlemen down here fishing. So clearly this morning we had to get up and do our own fishing because Abby, so cute.
Nice, bro. I don't know, that looks pretty attractive to me. I want to get in there and bite it. Look at you go, girl. Power plant in the background. Tugboats tugging. Look at you go.
All right, lean back, Ed.
Dang.
Wow.
Go for it.
So this one is from Florida. It says
It says South Carolina, but we got it at a bait shop in Florida.
so, and then this one is, I can hardly remember.
From the farm.
From the farm. This one is from LL Bean. So it
In
says
Maine.
Bee and Outsider, but Bean Outsider. And then this is Fenway Park. We just put it on there.
Just went yesterday.
So this one, and this one, this one is the Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown,
New
New
York.
York.
Yep. Good job.
But these three are the only ones on this side that were put on the road. This one we put right before we left on the road.
It's from the last.
Over on this
All right. Give it a
side,
rest.
we've got this one, Adirondack Mountains,
Adirondacks
New York.
in New York. Yep.
Yankee Stacking.
Manchester, New Hampshire.
Yeah, Tim,
Tim Marshner. And Yankee.
and then Bucky's. That was put on the road, right?
Yeah, that was this
Yeah,
trip.
the Bucky's. And then this one is some
That's the
sort
Maine
of
state flag.
Yeah,
but it
Maine
also has
state
its roots
flag.
in the Appeal to Heaven flag, and that's why we like
If
it.
you've been to
And
one of
then-
our 4th of July parties, you know all about it.
Yep.
Wall Drug of South Dakota. That one's old, as you can tell.
That's from when we moved out here, or to Tennessee. Yep.
Sleeping Bear Dunes.
On the road.
This was actually the first one put on.
Yeah, you're right. Where's Sleeping Bear Dunes from?
Sleeping Bear Dunes is the big
Michigan.
Michigan.
Yep, up in northern Michigan.
Is
Not
that
on the
the
UP,
place that
but
we
up
got
in the...
lost and we slid down that big dip?
Yeah, wasn't that fun?
Yeah,
That was
we
Or
kept
that's
yelling,
Sleeping
"We're
Bear Dunes,
safe."
yeah.
The Badlands.
What
That's
do
when
you
we
think?
went canoeing with the Goldens, yeah.
Sleeping Bear Dunes / Badlands.
All right, we're just getting going, huh?
By the end of the trip, and then these two are really old and we have no idea what they are.
We need to go to Sleeping Bear Dunes again.
Alright, now let the professionals do it. Okay, now is my Steve. Yeah.
Look at that. How much are those tickets? You going up to the crow's nest, Merritt? I don't know. You think they're gonna let you?
English investors willing to support the venture. Some of these men want to advance separatists and Puritan causes, others want only profit. A joint stock company is formed in which both the English investors and members of the congregation hold shares. Many agree to risk their money, others agree to risk their lives to ensure the company's success. Okay, these are a man and a woman from this lead-in congregation. You gave up your life in England to worship without fear of persecution. Urban life in Holland is difficult. As immigrants, you and your family find low-paying work in the cloth trades. Even your children are forced to work to help support the family.
What do you guys think so far?
It's awesome.
All right, hey, nice and easy.
There's a bunny too.
There's a bunny too. Awesome, thank you, David. Did you hear that, you guys? Hey, we need to wait for Mom. If we're going below decks. Wendy! Come aboard!
He's holding onto a rope or two on the line called a halyard. And out of nowhere, some massive thrust of gust of wind or a huge wave throws him off the ship. Or
This is the whole, this is where...
He goes overboard. Back then, 97 or 98 times out of 100 when you go overboard off a ship like this, it's over. That's called the fouling piece, and that's going to be used to take down birds. So load up the buckshot, or just park the ball, and you fire it off at a group of quail or turkey or background flying birds, and you set out the dog to
Does that sleep here?
back.
It's like a bad I think you had to go to the bathroom in a pot like that.
Back then they thought that if you wanted a barrel,
Did you find the bathroom?
No, there's no bathroom.
There's no bathroom.
What's
that? Go to the bathroom.
Peel.
What is it?
Dry dock. Dry dock. That's right.
For entertainment, sir, what they do is that they're going to be telling each other psalms or just passages or stories from the Bible. And for other things, most likely just telling each other folklore or other local stories or tall tales that are in their life. And
Mom,
for kids,
I'm going out.
so if the kids are anxious or if they're worried, you'll just say, tell them a riddle, and then they'll...
Check that out.
Dad,
Water.
you have to read it.
And that's going to be used
Get out of the way, Gage.
to take down birds. So,
Mayflower 2 is built in Brixham, England from 1955 to 1957. The builders used the same methods and tools that would have been used to build the original Mayflower. This means that the Mayflower 2 sails just like a ship in the 1600s, so there are no motors on board.
What do you do?
Oh look, they even got a cannon. So actually, I'm glad you asked that. So this is part of the rudder. Do you see that? That sticks out and goes underneath, and it turns this way and that way and steers the boat. Isn't that neat?
But what makes it go?
The wind. The sails go up, the wind catches it and pushes it. Like it's a giant sailboat. Isn't that cool?
Wasn't there people, a bunch of people like in these ones that use paddles and just paddle?
No, they didn't paddle this one.
Plotline some movies and TV shows. So, yeah, if you remember what happens in the past, the whole Star Wars.
Let's go in here first. The sailors and passengers on Mayflower brought enough food to survive an entire year, so they had to bring food that could be preserved for a long time. These foods included salted meats, dried fruit, peas, oats, and a double-baked bread they called a biscuit. Dan, watch out. Watch out. Oh, look at that's where you keep your dog food pan. Let go. Very cool.
Oh, Mom, that's a bed.
This is a bed. Crazy.
Pardon me. Why is this taking so long?
Without this.
What's that?
How did you get off the boat without this? Like, how did the pilgrims?
Oh, they had some big planks. Walk the plank.
They had planks, Aiden.
They actually had planks on their boat because they might use them at a place that didn't have them.
What do you mean? They would have a plank that big? Where would they put it?
Actually, I think this one's added. I think they would mostly have a plank.
Like that?
And I don't think they had nice big ones. I think they shoved a plank in that small part. Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, like a teeny plank.
Oh yeah, no, and they
They probably
walked.
have rope ladders too, maybe even. Just like toss it down and do your best.
Yeah.
That's what I always say.
Sailor Wendy.
They had to make a big building around it to make it seem bigger.
There's a
That's
watch.
it, that's
There's
Plymouth
a
Rock.
ring thing in it.
It's actually bigger than I thought. People really attracted it so far down. I was expecting even smaller than that. All right, we made it all the way to Plymouth, Massachusetts before a parking ticket in this beast of a camper. And we nearly got ticketed weeks ago back in Portland, Maine. But we arrived on scene just as he was writing the ticket and he decided to let it slide. There you go.
We'll only have fake accents for the next week. And then we'll be
I don't know, I'm picking it up, I'm taking it home.
We'll be home. There won't be any need for it.
We just did Plymouth. And yes, everybody's right. The Rock is not as big as you expect. It's underwhelming. But actually, people prepared me so much for an underwhelming Rock that it was bigger than I expected it to be. So there you go. Maybe that's the case for you. And then also the Mayflower was pretty cool actually. And they have historians like at various places on the ship, which is not large. But you could ask questions too. They tell you stories, they give you information, so that was really helpful instead of just reading all the signs, which gets boring, especially for the kids. So I thought it was informative. I actually learned a lot and clarified in my head. I was like, oh, 3 ships came over with pilgrims. Nope, that is Columbus. So there you go. See, I'm a homeschool mom. We haven't gotten through that part of history apparently.
Yeah, we already did.
We did Columbus.
No, not Columbus.
We did the
Well,
Pilgrims.
we did Columbus and the Pilgrims.
I guess I mixed them up in my head then. But the Mayflower is pretty cool, but the Rock, just a rock. But there's a reason why the Rock is so small. It used to be really big, but they took the entire top of the Rock off and took it somewhere, like to make us a monument. And they tried to put it back together at a certain point. They also used to allow people to, sorry,
I want my dog.
shush, buckle up. They allowed people to chip away parts of the Rock as souvenirs. So That's also hilarious. But so there's a reason why it's super small. It didn't used to be super small. And it's also seems to be unclear as to whether or not that was actually like where they landed, because it was like 150 years after the fact that somebody said it was. So he did say, in fairness, he did know some of the pilgrims personally. He was 95 years old. So it's possible that they moored their little small boat to Plymouth Rock when that happened, like when they came ashore. They were on the Mayflower. There was between 122 and 127 people on the Mayflower for 8 months, my son pointed out, because 2 months of delay coming kind of down the coast of England. And in that time, they were actually able to get on and off the ship a little bit. So that's good. Probably. But then 66 days of sailing. This is the worst. 66 days of sailing, and then, which is 2 months, thank you, Merritt. And then they had to stay on the ship when they arrived here for 4 months because it was winter when they got here. So that's awful and terrible. Only 2 people died on the journey, which is crazy to me. And then half of the people died while they were here, waiting to get off the ship, basically. So super cool history, learned a bunch. So I just did some research, and Plymouth basically has no RV parking that's designated, which is obviously why we did what we did. But obviously they very much enforce it. A lot of places don't enforce it or offer you an alternative, like Salem offered us an alternative place, and we complied in Salem, and it actually worked out fine, even though we had to walk a ways.
Like a mile and a 0.7 in Salem, which was fine. We did it. Plymouth didn't offer us any options, and we did what we have done in other places. We paid for parking, and the lot was basically empty when we arrived, but got it ticketed anyways. There was marked, buses, no RV areas. We, followed all those signs.
Oftentimes you can park an RV in bus areas, but they said specifically signs, no RVs.
And so we followed all that. Bottom line is, Plymouth, Massachusetts is not a RV-friendly, camper-friendly stop. I would say anything that's larger than a parking space is not going to
out
be...
of luck.
Yeah, you're not going to find parking there. We took the $30 ticket, is what it is. The violation... but it also needs to be said, if you're watching this as someone who might be visiting and traveling in the way that we've traveled as a family, you want to know.
What you could do is we camped near Plymouth at the state reservation. What's it called? Scusset Bay State Reservation, which was cute. It was fine. There was fine showers, like fine, just government showers if you want. And government campground. So the basic of basic, although there were full hookups. Full hookups? Yeah. No, so that was nice.
No,
and it was $27.
Not. It was electric and water.
Electric and water, no sewer. But there's a dump station. So for $27 a night, which you can't beat that. And it was right on the beach, which was great. So we stayed there for 2 nights. So what you could do is stay there and drive to Plymouth, which we actually ended up doing every day, which was only about 15 minutes. Go see Plymouth, and then to go pick up your RV and leave. That is something you could do also.
Just have one more thing for whoever's in charge of parking in Plymouth.
Thomas brought up a good point that you could park your RV at the Scusset Bay reservation for $27 and save yourself $3 in a ticket and just unhook. Come on into Plymouth.
Thinking.
Coulda. You would have saved $3 on a ticket.
That was only a $3 ticket?
That was a $30 ticket, but we could have parked down there for $27.
Could have camped another night for $27.
There you go. Rhode Island!
What are we doing?
All right, it's
Did we
time.
go to this, like,
What is that one?
Massachusetts?
Heck yes, because you guessed correctly.
Oh, man.
You can sticker.
It's such a weird. And then that's Connecticut and that's
Start
Rhode
with
Island.
this edge, and
Yeah,
if you
I know.
get that edge right, everything else will come. Yeah, you're a fast sticker putter. Yeah, I know.
Well, see?
Oh, it's okay.
I'm the perfect.
Leave it. It is what it is.
Yeah.
It'll leave plenty of room for Rhode Island. They'll be relieved. Finally have a little room, a little
All right.
space.
The smallest state in the union.
Wait, aren't we? Wait, can I do it? Can I do it?
Okay, let sister do it.
Camera. It doesn't even say Rhode Island. Well,
It says
does.
RI. That's all it's got.
Let's
Go, put it in.
Pot it in.
Pot it in.
Pot it in. I don't
It's a
even know.
potty.
And then we went to
Okay.
Connecticut, right?
We're about to go
We're about
to
to do that.
Connecticut tonight.
What about this one?
That's New Jersey. We'll probably be in New Jersey tonight if everything goes okay.
Will we go to this one?
Not this trip, sir. What's that one?
Oh. Hey.
Cheater.
Louisiana. Louisiana.
Okay, let's do it. Let's get on the road. All right, we're trying to take the 278 through New York, but we're high-profile vehicle. There's some restrictions on the interstate.
We're doing the unthinkable.
Yep, we're driving our camper through.
Taking the camper through Brooklyn. Through the heart of Williamsburg, Dumbo. Brooklyn. Across the Verrazano.
It's very stressful for me, but it boasts beautiful views. So that's good.
The city lights. It's like there's not even sirens. That's just the lights of
It's
the
just
city
the
flashing on our
headlights.
faces.
Yep. Okay. Well, I would say New York State, buddy, is huge. That's
Yeah.
where Aunt Claire lives.
Uh-huh.
And hold on. And this is a tiny, teeny far corner of it. New York State is huge. So I wouldn't say we're in the heart of New York, but we are in the most hustling, bustling part of New York. How about that?
It's Rainbow Bridge. Look, I don't have control over that. Aurora used to have an apartment right underneath it, right over it. And I've been to a couple times.
I stayed somewhere right over there because I looked right out the window at the Brooklyn Bridge. So cool. So cool. We made it to the Verrazano. Beautiful.
Lord. Hey, it
Yep.
should be no surprise that the very first thing you do after
Oh
you
my
get
gosh,
to Joe
Buffy.
Biden's home state is the first thing we do.
Pay money.
Pay a toll, $5 to get into Delaware.
And you know what? We just paid $47.
Yeah, I just paid $47 off the New Jersey Turnpike, only to turn around literally a minute and a half later, cross a bridge into Wilmington, Delaware,
And pay again.
and pay again.
To drive on roads that
Never elect an East Coast
person again.
person ever. Ever. Y'all should be embarrassed. I stand corrected. $10. $10 to get into Delaware. Let's go, Brandon.
We're on the interstate, which is paid for by federal money. The same interstates that run through Tennessee and we don't pay tolls, or we're about to in Nashville because thank you, lunatics.
Sell out Lee.
I just am astounded. One, that this is happening. Two, that we're still driving today because Delaware is our, let's see, Massachusetts,
Rhode Island.
Rhode Island,
Connecticut,
Connecticut,
New
New York,
New Jersey.
New Jersey, now Delaware, our 6th state of the day. And then we're about to go into Maryland. And then we'll go into Virginia.
No, we're gonna stop.
We're not.
We're stopping in Maryland because we're
7 states in one day.
we'll hit the district tomorrow.
Yeah, we changed up our plans because it's going to be raining tomorrow. We were going to go to Mount Vernon, but so much of that is outside, and it's going to be raining. So a lot of it'll be like potentially closed. So we're going to go into DC and do the Smithsonian, which is free. And we're going to stay 2 nights so that we don't have to. We did all of our driving for 2 days in 1 day. So longest day of driving by far of the whole trip, for sure. Maybe of our ever on the road. This might be our longest day ever driving in all of our road
I don't
trips.
even know if that's true, but okay. I feel like we've had longer days. I'd have to think about when and where, but
We don't often do 12-hour days ever. 6, yeah. Anyway, onward. I'm not kidding you. 5 minutes later, we're paying again. We're paying again. That will be 3 tolls within 10 minutes of each other. I don't even know what's happening.
For a grand total of like $60 or greater than $60.
Yeah, more than that.
I'm running out of money.
$70. Almost $70.
I might not even have enough. We'll see. Found a 20. Luckily, don't let Delaware know I've got a 20 left.
I'm astounded that anyone lives here and puts up with this. Like, it's probably because I'm tired. So annoyed at this situation.
Because you're a true American patriot who wouldn't stand for this crap.
Should still be wearing an actual boot of some sort that goes over your ankle, has a little bit of support protection. And as soon as you start putting weight on it,